This episode of Gintama was absolutely beautiful. All that build-up for this very moment, throughout countless episodes, countless arcs, all of that for this very moment with Katsura and Kondo joining forces, putting aside their differences to fight for a better future, a better country, a new era. This right here is why I love Gintama. I love Gintama for many reasons, but the way the mangaka can tell such a good story, such a beautiful story, and still sometimes throw in comedy at that, and have such different arcs, so different from the last, it's quality that you don't see from many writers. You don't see that type of quality from any or many writers at all. And I just gotta congratulate the writer of, Gintama for being able to do something like that. It's impressive. It's so impressive to do that. And it just doesn't stop there. I mean, the mangaka is able to throw in this comedy at times to where it's supposed to be tragic, and it makes it work. Like, it works. And I think that's why so many of us love Gintama. It's because of how the mangaka has written his series. For instance, that moment in this episode to where Katsura accidentally takes the pill. Like, he throws the pill and it ricochets back into his mouth, and then he passes out and he leaves a dying message. And we have it where some of our characters are leaving dying messages, and it was kind of like a comedy moment. And it was something that's kind of rare to see nowadays when it comes to Gintama because of all the serious shit that's been going down. And so seeing that moment is something I was, quite happy to see, and I was getting a good laugh from. But then, once that was done, we see how that kind of plays a role into the upcoming serious moments. For instance, how Kondo almost got his head chopped off by assassins, and then Katsura was about to be killed, and to see how the pill was actually spit out from Katsura was kind of like a play, or, a little mistake that Katsura played, and he wasn't really trying to knock himself out. It was cool by the mangaka the way he did that. He turned that entire comedy moment into a serious moment, and it felt like it kind of changed over into that serious atmosphere rather well. I mean, not many writers can do that as well, because I've seen many issues to where you have this episode that has comedy and serious moments, and it just does not mesh. It just does not mesh at all, and you're like, ugh, I don't like it. I don't like the tone shifts, and for some reason, Gintama can pull that off. It can really pull off those tone shifts when you have this funny as fuck moment, and when it turns into a serious moment, you're like, holy shit, our life's on the line, we really gotta move, and this inspirational speech comes up, and you're like, my god, the feels, the emotions, all that shit I'm getting from, this episode or this moment. And also, Odd Jobs is no more. After the events of the last week's episode, we have it to where Odd Jobs can no longer function, because after what happened with Nobunobu, the Shogun, Gintoki can no longer kind of really be working at Odd Jobs, because he'll be kind of hunted down. So Odd Jobs at this moment is broken down, and so is the police. The main police, or Kondo's faction, is completely gone now. And that's sad, because now it's like the majority of the main things that made Gintama for what it was, like the series, is kind of gone, and now they are forced into this situation where they have to fight for that freedom they once had. For instance, they gotta remove this shogun from his leading position, Nobunobu, and go back into happier times. And I wonder how this is gonna be handled, because now that Odd Jobs can't really function as a job anymore, they can't really do any arcs like they did in the past. Because let's think about the main presentation of Gintama. Let's look at it. Odd Jobs has always been there to take on any job, like any type of job request, and Gintoki always wants money, but sometimes he just doesn't get money. He's more about helping people. And when you see this, when this Odd Jobs completely taken away, the main concept or foundation block that kind of structured a lot of the plot lines or arcs of the series is gone. It leaves many questions like, holy shit, you really can't go back to comedy anymore because of this. Like, for Gintoki not being able to do his own job, that means that he has to be wandering the streets or stay on the move, and he has to kind of handle the situation. He's probably going to have to join Katsura to handle what's going on with the Shogun. So yeah, now I see why many have said the comedy is pretty much non-existent later on in Gintama in this arc, because it's not going to go back to the way it was. It never probably will. So yeah, and I mean, even though Kondo and Katsura are trying to change things, now that they're going in and they're trying to break out, and then you have it to where they're trying to take over, this could probably take a long while. So this arc is going to be a really long ongoing arc. It's like mini arcs going on, like for instance the Shogun assassination arc to, you know, this arc, and it's slowly building up probably to one crucial final arc of the series, and that's exactly what this is doing. So yeah, this episode of Gintama, fucking awesome as always. I love the build up, I love the emotions, I love getting to see the other characters shining on the side too, these other little, you know, plot points building up on the side as well with these other side characters. It was really nice to see. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Y'all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.